Kate, big fan. Huge honor to
Thanks.
chat with you today.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Lauren, thanks. I love your, is it a dress or a top?
No, it's just a top from House of CB, just like a
It's
corset
so
top.
cute. It's adorable. You look so lovely.
Oh my gosh, you look beautiful. You have not aged in 20 years.
Well, I brought the blue. I know everyone likes the blue crush vibe, so I brought the blue today.
20-year anniversary this year, by the
Oh,
way.
I know. I'm like, I keep joking. I'm like, listen, I've got over several decades under my belt. Like, I'm here to stay. Okay, you can't get rid of me.
I absolutely love it. Well, congratulations to you on this film. I thought it was so sweet and charming, and I really loved watching the relationship between your character Heidi and Auden, who of course plays your stepdaughter in the film. But you're playing a new mom in the film, and a lot of your scenes you have to act with a baby.
Yeah.
So, as an actor, talk to me about like the unpredictability of having to act with an infant on set.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, first of all, these babies were so adorable. And I mean, the amount of like behind the scenes photos I have of like, "Ooh, I'm doing it, like it's just it's so sweet. And they were such good babies because sometimes, I mean, they've only had like a few weeks on the planet. So it's kind of crazy to be like
Right.
on set. But sometimes you have, babies that are like really crying or like they're just, they're upset about things. And these were just so sweet. But you are dealing with a variable, an unknown variable, so to speak. And so it's kind of like one of the things I love so much about this movie is that Sofia Alvarez is the director, and she hired almost all female heads of departments. So we had
Oh,
like a
wow.
female first AD, and it was like all lots of ladies all over the set, and it was like very well organized. It was very calm. Um, Lots of good multitasking. So Sienna, who was the first AD of this movie, like she would say like, baby's coming in, everybody. And we'd be like, okay, baby's coming in. And the baby would come in and kind of look around. And like, for example, when the audience first meets Heidi and Auden walks in and I'm like talking a mile a minute. I'm like, oh my God, Auden, I forgot you're coming today, blah, blah, blah. And I'm holding the baby. Like that was a day where the baby was like upset and it was crying. And I just said to Sophia, I was like, let's just like, this is what it is. You know what I mean? And if the
Right.
baby's crying, it's like, yeah, I'll get more like, or I'll just work through it because that's what it is. You don't get to choose like when a baby like cries and when they're really good as a real mom. So I was like, let's just do it. Whatever happens, let's just play with it. And
Yeah, and
so
it does add to the story with like the stress of her character and her marriage, so it makes sense.
So I was always, I mean, when there's like a baby like screaming and crying like 6 inches from your face, like you are just inherently and naturally stressed. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to do much.
I would be like, oh my God, here, bring him back to the mom.
Oh my
But
God, yes. And I had so many lines in that opening scene. I was like, in my brain, I'm like, just get the words out, just say the lines.
oh my God. Well, you did such a great job with the baby. The scenes were so cute.
Oh, thank you.
well, I obviously mentioned that Blue Crush, the 20th anniversary is this year, and I've seen that movie with my girlfriends so many times. Take
Oh.
me back to set in regards to 20 years ago, something that you learned about yourself as an actor while playing Anne Marie and working on that set in Hawaii. What did you
Oh,
learn about yourself?
I was just like on a day-to-day basis trying to stay alive. I'm
It's
kidding
such
you.
it's an insanely physical role, and you're like in every scene.
Yes, and like we were doing things you could never do today.
Oh
I
wow.
had never touched a surfboard before I got Blue Crush. I like
Right.
basically just like made them hire me through a very intensive audition process because I just felt such a deep affinity with this character. But I was out at Pipeline and like crazy like 30-foot waves daily. You know what I mean? I mean, my training consisted of living on the North Shore, being like
Wow.
dropped in the zone where like you're just going to be worked. You know what I mean? Like the sort of wipeout zone. And I part of my training was just getting used to that. Like, bye, have fun. Like stay alive. You know what I mean? So like literally it was so much of my focus was on that and like being believable in the role. I was so afraid that I wasn't, going to be believable to the surf community because I became so close with them living on
Oh
the North
yeah.
Shore. So then I was like, oh God, I've got to like make sure that I'm like the real deal here. But my favorite thing about that movie was that Michelle Rodriguez and Sonoy Lake and myself all lived together in one house on Sunset Beach. And it was, and I believe it is really what resonates with so many, particularly young women, is with friendship. You know what I mean? And like, it's such a great coming of age story, but it really, it's the support of the girls and the love between them that I think really resonates so deeply, but you know, and with audiences. And it was kind of one of the first like real, like, you know, feminist movies. But like, what I thought was so cool about it was that it wasn't so much trying to be. It was just like, yeah, women are badass. Like, let's tell the story of some, you know, of a woman being a badass, and like, you know, and let's tell it realistically, and let's tell it with honesty. And I think that's what like moved so many young women.
It did. No, I appreciate your response, and they're wrapping me, but I love the film. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. And you're right, like back in 2002, like Blue Crush literally did like set the whole, like, I mean, there was not a lot of female empowered, like young women teen stories at that time. So
yeah, it was
why,
kind
like,
of all like,
girls were like, this is great.
Yes. I mean, there were so many stories at the time where it was like kind of like bitchy or like competitive or like, and like, those are like, I love Mean Girls. It's like one of the best movies ever, but it was like hardcore, you know?
Oh,
and,
it
like,
is. Those girls are mean.
Whoa, I know. I was like, oh, I'm scared. But it was so nice to kind of like be a part of something that was like, you know, such a like pro girl kind of message. Yeah.
All right, Kate.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Thank you, Lauren.
Yes,
I appreciate
thank you, Kate. Belmont and Emma, congratulations to you on this film. I thought it was so sweet and charming, and I really loved watching the friendship and the romance blossom between the two of your characters, Auden and Eli. And it honestly just got me thinking that, did the two of you have a chemistry reading prior to getting these roles? When did the two of you first meet?
So we had a chemistry read the day before I got the part and the day before we flew out to set, and it was over Zoom, which is really crazy. But I think even from Zoom, we immediately clicked.
Yeah, we did.
And just kind of like found an easy rapport, which was so great because then we were not only working together, but we were each other's support system while we were shooting.
Our chemistry read ran long. We had like so much fun.
Yeah,
and there was like lengthy conversations with Fia about character. And we got to know each other a little bit there, but then as soon as we both were in North Carolina, we had an immediately fast friendship. I mean, Emma's one of my best friends now and will be for a long time. And so I'm super grateful, if anything, for this friendship.
Yeah. Our moms call each other a lot.
They do. Our moms are in constant contact.
They really are.
Oh my God, that is so cute. I love that friendship. Okay, so one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the food fight scene. And I know that was done at night. It looked really fun, but also really messy. So take me back to set that day. Did you guys film that all in one night, and also the jumping of the ocean afterward?
We did night swim and food fight on separate nights.
Yeah.
But food fight took us all night. And I'll be honest, I got the least of it. You know, I had the potato salad on my face and, you know, like my shirt. But Emma got it bad too. She had a full crown of beans on her head. But we were at food fight for a long time, and it was, you know, we had like one shot to get the beans and we had like one shot to get the food fight. So our camera operators were out there in like garbage bags, just like protecting themselves and shielding themselves from the chaos that was the food fight. And it got competitive and it smelled so bad.
But the one fun thing about the food fight is that because of like a shortage of time and also continuity with costumes, they could only do the beans on my head once. And so there's, I don't know if you want to say it, but they're basically, we don't want to say it.
Yeah, we didn't want Emma to expect it. So Sophia and I had like a code. She was like, what should we do on the take that I want you to pour the beans? She had like this little cute bucket hat on. I go, just take your hat off. And then if I see you without the hat, I know to spill the beans. And she like poked her head out the door and just like pointed at her hat. And I was like, okay, I think that's the code, but it's not what we agreed on. So I just decided that it was. And then, that's Emma's real reaction.
Yeah, because she told me we weren't doing beans yet. And then they did beans.
I was gonna say, because it is a legitimate, like, shocking reaction. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe you're doing this to me right now.
No, and it was a shock because it was happening, and also a shock at the temperature of the beans.
Yeah, they're cold beans.
They were cold beans that just slid right down my back.
Oh, it sounds so gross. Well, so when you did, I loved the scene obviously between Eli and Auden. I know fans of the book are excited when they jump into the ocean and share, their first kiss. So take me back to set that day. Was the ocean cold? Like, how was it? Was that an all-night shoot too?
It was a night.
Yes, it was all night. The ocean was cold. Again, I feel like we kind of got the better of it because we got to submerge.
Yeah, we
in
were
the
fully
water.
submerged.
The people who were in the water and in the air, I think it was a lot worse for them.
Yeah.
But regardless, the water was super cold. I had never been in the ocean at night. I never even contemplated the ocean at night. It's
Too
pitch black.
scary.
You can't see anything in the water.
Yeah.
And it was horrifying and freezing, but we were so close after that night.
Yeah, I thought it was so fun. And I think we'd had a lot of night shoots because obviously Auden and Eli meet under the cover of darkness. But everyone was anticipating this night being the like intense one. So there was a lot of prep and there were a lot of heaters around and I felt very taken care of. And and then we just got to fully go underwater.
It was so much fun. And our cameramen were in there in the water, like scuba suits with us. Like it was awesome.
Oh my God. Well, I can't wait for fans to see it. Again, congratulations to the two of you. Love that you're BFF in real life. And I can't wait for fans to see the film when it comes out to Netflix in a couple of weeks. Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.